What's up, Beast Bros? Let's talk about camping versus survival. I mean, what is survival if not just camping without all the amenities, right? Let's go through 4 of the most essential survival items that you want to have that would cover you in just about any situation. And then at the end, we'll go over a 5th item just for fun. So stick around. All right, let's go top to bottom with this. If you were in any survival situation, what's the one most critical item that you would want to have? For me, that would be my kukri. This is my favorite knife. You can do so many things with this. It's just crazy. I mean, this thing, it's heavy, so it's not great for backpacking or anything, but we're talking about survival today. This thing is a beast. You can use this for just about any survival task that you would need. If you need to chop down a tree, this thing is like a hatchet. You can shave kindling, you can whittle on the small part. I mean, the possibilities room with this. You gotta have a knife, and if you only have one item, you're not gonna wanna use a small, pocket knife or something like that. In a survival situation, you're probably gonna wanna have something more substantial. Number 1 in my book, you gotta have a kukri. All right, so what's the number 2 most absolute essential thing you would need? Well, if you're gonna be in a survival situation, you're gonna need fire. So I would bring some sort of flint and steel. This is a magnesium starter. If you've got your knife and you've got a starter like this, then you scrape off a little bit of the magnesium on there, and then you can hit this, and get yourself a spark and get your fire going in a hurry with that. So it's definitely a must-have item. Fire is gonna be crucial in any survival situation. You're gonna need it for so many things. You may need it for warmth. You may need it to cook food. You may need it to boil water. I mean, there's so many things. Just for morale, I mean, come on, fire is a big deal when it comes to survival. So if you have one of these, it's gonna make starting a fire way easier. So this is definitely number 2 on the list. If you have a 3rd item and you're lucky enough to bring 3 things, what's the 3rd thing you would bring? Well, water is a big deal. I would definitely want to have some sort of water purification system. This is going to save you a lot of time in having to start a fire in order to get drinkable water. Because if you have to boil water every time you want to drink, I mean, it's going to take time to collect it. You've got to find something to put it in. Then it could take, as much as 30 minutes to an hour to get it up to boil. Then you got to let it cool down. You're going to be constantly on a water regimen trying to keep that going. You got something like this, you can fill up this bag and just purify your water into any containers that you can find, and you'll always have a good, or you know what, you can just squeeze this right through the bag and hold your water in here and just squeeze it right through the bag and drink it straight out of there. You're always gonna have a good clean source of water, and you're not gonna need to spend a bunch of time or waste a lot of calories and effort to get it. So this would be a big deal. Number 3 on my list for survival items. Some people might disagree with me on this one, but I think number 4 would be some sort of tarp, a good tarp to use as a shelter or many other things. You can carry stuff in this. There's a lot of good uses for tarps, and there's a lot of ways you can use them to set up to give yourself a good little shelter. You can also use this as the base for a shelter. If you're gonna be in one place for an extended period of time, you can set this up just as waterproofing and then pile on debris or make some kind of debris shelter on top of that in order to maintain warmth. But a tarp is just gonna be something really lightweight and easy that you can keep around, and it's really gonna make a good portable shelter for you in the event that you're gonna wanna get in out of the elements, whether it's sleeping or just getting out of the rain or anything like that. Tarp is gonna be a big deal. All right, so let's talk about number 5. If you had the option to bring one more item with you, what would you bring? I think if I had the option of a 5th item, I'd probably want to bring some sort of dry bag like this. It's a multi-function. You can use it for a lot of things. You know, maybe not necessarily this exact bag, but a bag like this. It's waterproof, so in the event that you're in the rain, you can store gear in here to keep it from getting wet. Or if you have some real sunny, dry days, you can collect good dry kindling. And if you see rain coming, you can put your kindling in here and keep it dry, so that if you have to set up and get a fire going in the rain, you've got dry kindling here. Another thing you can use this for is water transportation. You know, if you're near a water source and you know you're gonna have to start walking away from it in order to get out of this situation, you don't know where you're gonna find water again. This would be good to use your purifier and just fill this thing up with water, and then you can carry it with you, and you've got a lot more water to take you a lot longer. You know, you can also take all this other gear and put it in here and use it to carry it with. So a lot of good uses for a bag like this, and I think that would probably be my choice for a survival situation. I'll tell you what, you tell me if you had your option of a 5th item on top of all of this, or if you disagree with any of those items. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think or what your choice would be for that 5th item. As always, we really appreciate you watching. Be sure and like this video if you enjoyed this content, and subscribe to our page if you haven't done so already. And hey, check out the link in the comments for our Beast Burn giveaway. You need to get in there and sign up for that. We're gonna start our drawing for that in probably a couple of weeks, so be sure and get your name in the hat and win you some free Beast Burn. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.